Welcome to Hey Therapist. I'm your host, Leslie Ross. With me is my producer, Jay Wesley Lindley. Let's get mental. Okay.
What are we going to talk about?
I don't know. What do you want to talk about? So one of the things that has come up is the difference in, I guess we should say hi to everybody. Hello, everyone.
Hey, guys.
Welcome to Hey Therapist. Is the difference in confrontation and communication. Because I think sometimes when, and it depends on attachment styles, and I've talked about this before, depending on your attachment style, kind of depends on how you fight, right? So if you're an avoidant, you're going to just let it go. If you're anxious, you want to talk about it right now, you know. So you should know your attachment styles, just like you should know your love languages. But so when something happens and the person's like, hey, I want to talk about this. We need to talk about this right now. And they're like, in their head, it's, well, I need to give you time to cool off.
Okay.
But I don't need time to cool off. We need to talk about this right now.
Yeah. There's so many ways to look at that because it depends on like how far into the relationship that you are, in my opinion, because it's like if I know you well enough, you know, to look at you and be like, hey, I don't know if right now is a good time for us to speak about this because I know that you're upset. But then again, there's the flip side of that. Oh, my phone's like blowing up. I'm so sorry. I forgot you do not disturb. Oh my gosh.
We can't hear it. So
yeah. So I think that there's like a catch 2020, I guess you would say with that. Is that how you would word? I don't really know because it's like when I'm ready to talk about something, I would not be bringing it up if I was not ready to talk about it.
Same.
But not everyone is like that.
Right.
So it's like, how well do you know your partner? How well do you know, and have you been in this communication phase before that you know the difference between confrontation and communication? So that one would be how far into the relationship and how much have you communicated from my perspective. Because like if you came to me, even in our friendship, and you were like, we need to talk about this or something that happened, you know, that you've done, you know, outside of the podcast and we need to talk about it, I'd be like, let's do it. Because I know that you would not, you know what I mean? So
I'm not going to be on the attack.
No.
I'm not going to come in hateful or say anything I don't mean because I've already thought about it. If I'm saying it's time to talk, I've gone through my phases. Yeah. I have already planned. I have cussed you out in a back room if I needed to. But I'm not going to do that to you because I want to communicate fully. But, you know, I have staff members, God love them, who, and I'm a little bit of the same way because I'm a little bit of an anxious, attached person. But, you know, if I'm like, hey, I need you to come to my office or we need to talk about something, they're like, their first response is, oh my God, am I getting fired? Like, what?
Yeah.
Am I getting in trouble? Like, what? When have you gotten really in trouble? You've never been in trouble with me.
But that goes back, though, to like a deep insecurity on their end.
It does.
That they're not confident in themselves.
Right. And they've been in other like workplaces and relationships where when someone says we need to talk or you have to come here, you know, it's bad. It's always bad.
But I will say this, going back to you using that phrasing of we need to talk. Yeah. There is something that makes my butthole clench that when someone says that to me, and I'm very confident in who I am as a man and not afraid of confrontation at all. Like you, trust me, not at all. Not in the slightest afraid of confrontation. But when someone says that to me, I'm like,
you're like, wait, what?
So I'm like,
or can you call me? I need you to call me. What?
No.
Why?
Yes, I know that is like, okay, is your house on fire or did you sleep with, you know, anyways,
right.
Whatever. But I do think that sometimes we use that phrasing and it's not even that serious and we freak people the hell out.
I think so too.
Like, we need to talk. Do we need what?
About what?
About what?
What have I done?
So
going back and reading messages to see what's been said.
I almost feel like that if we said that differently, like it would come across.
Yeah.
Because everyone, I mean, I guarantee you that when people listen to this and we say that phrase, they're going to remember a time.
Right.
It's going to immediately trigger a time that someone was like, we need to talk.
Like, and no, I don't want to.
I don't want to talk.
I don't want to talk.
I don't want to talk.
What about? just call me. Oh,
No.
no. Absolutely not. I'm not going in unprepared.
No.
I need you to tell me what's happening.
Yeah. There was a podcast recently that I was listening to of Jay Shetty's, and it was so cool because he said that he has this thing where when his friends call him or like text him in distress, he will always say, give it 3 days, and if it's still that important, call me. And I was like, the more I thought about that, I'm like, it's so true, because he was like, in the heat of the moment, it could be nothing, and he was like, they're just going to be talking to talk. And he said, I'm always there for my friends, but he was like, there have been people call me before and be like, Jay, I just got this major situation. And he was like, they'll explain it to me. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean we need to talk? Like, we don't need to talk about anything. No. Sit on this for 3 days. And if it's still bothering you that much, then absolutely we can talk about it. I'll talk you through it. But
right.
Like, how many times do we do that? I mean, I literally think about that with my friends all the time that we'll text each other, call me right now.
Yes. Call me right now. And I need you to help me pick this out. Like,
it's literally a sell at Neiman Marcus.
Yes. I'm going to FaceTime you and show you 2 outfits, and I need you to help me decide. Like, what? It's not.
God.
It's not usually that important.
Yeah.
Honestly. And it's not going to be. And again, it goes back to knowing your people and how they communicate. But most of the time, it's not anything bad. Yeah. And that's why I tell people, like, when I'm saying, hey, we need to talk about this, or hey, I need you to come to the office, whatever it is, like, they're like, oh my God, what? Yeah. And I'm like, when has it ever been bad? Yeah. Like, ever. But I still, the same way, my boss will text me and she'll be like, I need you to call me.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
And I know it's nothing bad. She's never gotten on. I mean, she's, corrected, like, hey, we need to shore this up, whatever it is, but it's never been punitive. Yeah. It's never been anything that I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting fired. Yeah. But I think that every time for some reason, like,
I think everyone does. I think that there's not anyone on here that's going to listen to this and be like, yeah, I think the same thing. I don't care. I mean, like, I could literally be the boss and have $50 billion in the bank, not giving a shit in the world. You know what I mean? And someone say that to you and you're like,
I don't want to. I don't want to.
I think going back, though, to like the confrontation versus communication is, it's all in our delivery. It literally all goes back to that. Like, how are you delivering between confrontation and communication? Right. Because a lot of times what could be confrontation can just be easily fixed with good communication, of you being able to actually sit and listen.
For sure.
And comprehend. We'll go back to that. The communication with comprehension is like key to that. So I feel like sometimes that can be dilute the confrontation. I guess you would say that would be a guess way to put that. I think that's
a good way to put it.
Yeah.
And if anybody knows me, they know I'm not going to come in hot. Like, unless you've done something egregious.
Well, let me tell you right now, I will nuck if you buck. My friends know I've been through therapy, but bitch, I will nuck if you buck.
Yeah, if you come at me, you're gonna get that energy.
Yeah. 100%.
I mean, I might try to calm you down. I might try to be like, listen, we can talk about this in a different way. And if you keep coming in hot.
I also know myself well enough to know now that sometimes I can just wake up ready for war. I'm ready
to. Today is a good day to choose violence.
I'm going to fucking put on my bootstraps and I'm going to kick a door down. So those are the days that I'm like, probably wouldn't be in my best interest to confront anyone.
Right. Today's not the day to have that conversation.
So I know myself well enough. Those are the days that I'm like, okay, I got to listen to 6 podcasts before I get to work because I'm going to hurt someone's feelings. So I do know myself well enough to know that.
I think that's good. It's good to know how you're going to, I mean, and I think that's what it really boils down to, is knowing how you communicate and when is the proper time to communicate, and knowing how the person you're talking to communicates. Because I have, I'll go back to staff, and this one is, I have a few that I can be like, hey, come here. And they'll just get up and come there, and it's not, they don't think they're in trouble. They don't think he's wrong, or I need you in my office right now. Like, they don't, they're not going to be like, oh my God, what I do? Yeah. But I have others that are like, when I say that, I'm like, listen, when you get a chance, I need you to come up here.
Yeah.
Because we need to have a conversation about this paperwork or whatever it is, and they'll be like, okay. Because if I just said, I need you to come to my office, they would be just back there sweating.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to do that to anyone.
Yeah, that's not fair.
No, because I know that's how they communicate. And I think it's important, especially in relationships too, to know how your partner communicates.
Yes.
And anyone that's ever dated me in the last, I won't say ever. let me rephrase that. In the last probably 10 years, knows I will chill out. If I say we need to talk about this, it means I'm ready. Like, I'm not going to come at you hot. I'm not going to attack you. I'm not going to be hateful or say something I don't mean.
Yeah.
Because I'm still fired up about it. Let everyone know that in the beginning too. This is how I communicate. Like, this is what I need, when there's not a fight, because that's the important part too, is you have these conversations about how you communicate when you're not upset. Because when we're emotional, we are not rational. And we're rational, we are not emotional. So if you can have those conversations and say, listen, this is how I fight. How do you fight? What do you need from me? When are you going to be ready to talk? Do you need space after something happens? And learning that communication style, that attachment style. If you are an avoidant, but your person is anxious, then you don't have to buy into it. You don't have to have a conversation when you don't want to. I'm not saying that. But if you say, listen, my anxiously attached partner, I need to take a break because I will say something I don't want to say. I will say something I don't mean. I need to go get my thoughts together about this. Then we can have a conversation. And that should only take me, usually it takes me this amount of time. And then we can talk. And you circle back and you have the conversations when they're in a timely manner. And that way the person that's anxious can go, okay, they heard me. They know what I need. But I know my partner needs space, even though I'm going to be in here just going nuts because I want to talk right now and get it out of the way and make sure it's okay. But they need space, and I want to have a healthy communication. I want to have a healthy relationship. So I need to give them what they need as well. Because they told me they're going to come back. They told me that they're going to go think about this, that this is important to them. And it's just important to know how your partner communicates, friends, anyone, so that you can communicate with them. It's just like love languages, like we talked about. You have to know what yours are and what theirs are. Because how you're going to try to give them love may not be how they receive it. Yeah. So it's important for communication, too, to know this attachment style, to know how they communicate, what they need in those times. Maybe they just need you to say, okay, like, what do you need? How do you need to handle this? Yeah. But when it comes to certain things, the other person can feel very dismissed. And that's what I've encountered in relationships sometimes. Because I'm like, listen, I need we needed to have a conversation about this. Yeah. And then the other person thinks, well, I need to give you space because you're upset. So then they don't have the conversation. So more time rocks on where you're like, no, hello, like, we need to have a conversation about this. And then it's like, well, you were upset. I wanted to give you time to cool off. Oh, I'd already taken my time to cool off. Now you're just pissing me off. Yeah. Because I'm telling you, we need to talk about this. Yeah. And you're not. So it feels very dismissive. It feels like you are not listening to what I need.
So I have a question. Just because it's something I've started doing, and I'm wondering what your opinion is on this, because I 100% agree with everything that you're saying. I think that so many times we are in situations where someone in our life is dismissing, where it's a family member, it's a partner, it's a friend. When you're giving them that space, or they're giving you the space, or whatever. But from what I have been doing is I put a timeline on it and I timestamp it, as in when they say that to me of, yes, I would like to talk about this. And I say, okay, that's great. How about tomorrow at noon?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
And because the reason why is because at that moment, it's like setting an appointment to handle it. And the way that, for my mindset, it's like setting that boundary for both of us. It's like at 12 o'clock tomorrow, we're going to, and I'm using that as an example, guys. Yeah. It's not necessarily, you know what I mean? But it's helped so much because then they know, I know, we're going to handle it or not handle it at 12 o'clock tomorrow. So I wonder if we started approaching it in that manner, if it would help that situation where that we're not feeling dismissed. Because at that point, there's also a flip side that I've been in that situation where that someone has dismissed me and be like, well, I just want to let you cool off and all that.
Right.
We'll talk about this another time. Well, that another time never comes. And like you, I do get mad and upset because I'm like, now I feel dismissed. Now I feel like that you don't give a shit. And then when I do bring it up, then I feel like that I'm approaching it in a nagging manner, like that I can't let stuff go.
Right. Why are we still talking about
Why
this?
are we still talking about something?
Because I need to.
Because it was serious for me. It may not be serious for you, but it's serious for me. And that's the part of being dismissive that I think a lot of times partners and friends or whoever, they don't realize that they're doing. Because in their mind, they're like, oh, well, I've swept it under the rug. Or they actually have swept it under the rug.
Right, yeah. It didn't because it didn't bother them.
It didn't bother them. It didn't mean anything. But it meant something to me. And if you care about me, then everything that bothers me should bother you.
Right.
And
even if you think it's asinine.
If you think it's stupid as shit. I think it's stupid as shit. Like, as an example, the other day, I had a friend that came to me about something just needed to talk to me. And when they talked to me about it, I was like, in my mind, I thought, this is what we're, okay. But here's the deal. I love this friend enough that I knew it was important to them.
Right.
And I'm like, it's not important to me at all. And I think it's goofy that you're bringing this up, but it was important to them. I didn't want to be that dismissive person. Have I been that dismissive person? Absolutely. In my shitty behavior.
Sure.
That I'm like, well, this doesn't mean anything. You need to let it go. No, if it means something to someone and they mean something to you, then talk about it, fix it, listen to them, whatever that they need from you, do it. Because that could be their breaking point. And it's not fair.
It's not. Because if you say, we'll talk about it later, we'll talk about it later, we'll talk about it later on everything, and nothing's being talked about, it's going to build that resentment. Like, you have to talk about things, even if you think they're dumb. Because it is important to your, like you said, it is important to your partner. It may mean nothing to you, which means it's probably an easy fix for you. Like, if it doesn't mean anything to you to do it, then just do it. Like, don't make them stress about it. Don't make them worry about it. And if they're saying, hey, we need to talk about this, and you're not ready, you can say, I'm not ready to talk about it. And putting a timeline on it, there's nothing wrong with that. If it's a big issue and you say, tomorrow at noon, we're talking about this, and your partner says, or friend or whoever it is says, you know what, I'm still not ready. Like, I'm still really upset by this, or I don't have an answer for you yet. I don't know what I need to talk about. Can I get an extension? I think it's important to be able to give grace on that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because they may not be ready, depending on the level. You know, sometimes it's going to be something that you both get mad about, or one of you gets mad about, that is dumb. And they may say, we'll talk about this tomorrow at noon. And you're like, okay, fine. And then you sit on it and you're like, you know what? That was dumb. Like, I was just in my feels. I was having a moment. And you can let them know, I don't need to talk about it at noon. Or noon comes and you're like, you know what? Instead of talking about this, let's just go have dinner or have lunch or just hang out together, whatever it is. And that way it takes the pressure off them. And they also know that not every time it's going to be bad. So, you know, it's so important to listen, especially in new friendships and new relationships and new partnerships, whatever it is, to what your partner is telling. If they're saying, I need this to happen, and in your mind, you're like, oh, I'll give them more time. No. What? No. Like, why would you not listen to what your partner is telling you? Like, I can see where, well, you were mad and I just wanted to give you more time to cool off. I can see the thinking, but also it's dismissive. And you can ask, are you too mad to talk about this? Like, I feel like you're still really upset. Are you sure you can talk about this without, you know, saying something you don't mean, or without getting me riled up to where I attack back and say something I don't mean, and let them be the deciding factor? You know, you can put it back in their court to say, are you sure? Because if we start this conversation and you get sideways with me, we're not ever having another conversation again.
Yeah.
Like, you just ruined your control over when and where conversations happen.
Yeah.
But it's just really important to, not be dismissive. And, we deal with this a lot, especially with, I'm going to completely change topics, but it just popped in my head, so we're going there. In the holiday season, we talked about depression being a real thing, and we talked about all of these things. And a lot of people do become very hopeless. And they may make comments, they may say things, especially our younger kids, and people want to dismiss the seriousness of suicidal statement or a pseudo-suicidal statement. I don't want to be here anymore. Okay, what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
And, there was that stigma for a long time of talking about suicide, where if you talk about it, it's going to make them think about it more. No. If someone is having suicidal thoughts, they think about it all the time.
Yeah.
And sometimes it may be part of their illness. I deal with a lot of severely mentally ill people, and suicidality is just part of their illness. Because you'll say, they're like, well, I'm having suicidal thoughts. Okay, how long have you had them? My entire life. They'll be 50 years old. My entire life I've had suicidal thoughts. Okay, well, you're still here.
Yeah.
So we're not acting on those thoughts. Have you ever acted on it? Oh, no. But if I woke up tomorrow and I wasn't here, I'd be okay with that. I mean, it's a pretty normal feeling.
Yeah.
A lot of people have had that feeling in their life.
Well, a lot of people have that feeling without even being suicidal.
Absolutely.
Because, I look at life as such in a different view of like, if something happened to me tomorrow, like, I'm okay. It wasn't suicidal, you know what I mean, in that moment. But I've lived such a beautiful life, and I'm so grateful for it that it's like, okay, like that is.
Yeah. If I don't wake up tomorrow, I'm okay.
I have a very different view of life and death and like how we view it. And I have struggled with suicidal thoughts before, but I've been able to overcome that, and does the depression still kind of like hit me? Sure. Absolutely. Like I don't think like this platform that we're on right now, like, I don't want to be dishonest about that. Like I want to be very real. And I think that you've even mentioned that you deal with depression and things like that. Like we're not perfect, even though that we sit behind a mic and
have done the work.
We do the work. We continue to do the work.
Yes.
It's still a hard thing that everyone faces. I mean, it's not like that you get to read a book or go through a program and you're just fixed forever.
Right.
I think that's the very large misconception.
I think so too.
I'm like, you have to work on yourself. And anything can trigger you and you fall back into it. Like right now we talked about the last podcast. I mean, holiday season for me is terrible. Like it's awful. So I just know what I have to do to get on top of that.
Right.
And I'm very aware of that. Not everyone is, but my heart goes out to people that struggle with suicidal thoughts and actions. Like it really does. And I can't imagine from your perspective what you deal with and what you see. Like I can't. I actually have thought about it a lot recently. And my heart goes out to you and what you deal with. And I'm going to not cry today on today's podcast, but I can't imagine having to take that home.
Yeah.
Because of what I have to listen to sometimes behind the chair is a lot. I'm not getting paid for that.
Right.
You're getting paid to actually listen to that problem.
Right.
And so kudos to anyone that sits in your seat.
Absolutely.
And your profession saved my life. So my heart does go out to you guys and we appreciate you, truly.
And I appreciate all the others. I appreciate my therapist.
Yeah.
Everyone supports everyone. And, it is hard, but I get to be there to help people.
Yeah.
Because I do a lot of crisis evaluations. I do a lot of things where people are at police stations or hospitals or on the side of the road or whatever it is, or in my office and they are suicidal. They are ready to end their lives. I get to be a part of intervening in that. And one of the things that is so important if you are struggling with those thoughts, there's lots of options. 988 is the National Suicide Crisis Helpline. It will gets you to services, it gets you to a person, and then depending on what the situation is, 988 will dispatch a mobile crisis team to your location. So you have to be patient sometimes. They usually keep you on the phone during that time frame while mobile crisis is going out to see you. But, in some areas like ours, in northeastern Oklahoma and some other areas, it can take a couple of hours for a mobile crisis team to get to you because they are dispatched out of one of the larger cities. But they will come to your house and they will get someone on an iPad that can do an evaluation for you. And if you need to go to the hospital, if you need to go inpatient, they will take you there. They will load you up in the car and they will take you there.
Yeah.
And it's such an amazing resource that we have. And it's answered by Oklahomans or Texans or Alaskans or wherever you live. There's a hub that is in your community, that is in your state, that is answering that. It's not going to some weird call center somewhere. It's going to actual people who are trained in crisis intervention. And if it gets to the point where you can't wait for that, you can call 911 services. You can call emergency services. You can take yourself to a hospital. You can get to a police department. You can get anywhere and get help if you feel like you truly cannot control the thoughts. And there's nothing wrong with asking for that help. There's nothing wrong with being unable to control your thoughts because that's just the way your brain is working at the time.
Yeah.
You may say, I have a good life. Why am I thinking like this? Because it's what your brain is doing right now. When we have a actor or someone who is in the spotlight that dies by suicide, everyone's like, oh my God, but they had such a great life. Well, you don't know what's happening inside their head.
Yeah.
You don't know, just because you have money and fame and all these people around you, you may not have closeness. You may not have connection. You may not have anything else. You may be struggling with a severe mental illness that is untreated because of stigma or whatever is happening. And in today's world, I love the fact that even though it's still not as mainstream as it should be and affordable and accessible, mental health is not taboo anymore.
Yeah.
You're not going to get services just because you are suicidal or because you are schizophrenic and can't control your symptoms. You're going because you're struggling and you need support. And there are people trained to give you that support. And I feel like it's important this time of year to really talk about it because there's a lot of people who are very lonely. And unfortunately, deaths do happen around holidays. And it may be fresh. It may be one that happened 20 years ago, but that person held the family together at Christmas, or that person was their person and now they're alone. And I just really want everyone to kind of reach out and do what you can to support your friends. If you notice someone in your life is getting quiet, if someone in your life that normally goes out and hangs out with you or answers your text or whatever is not, check on them.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, you good?
Yeah.
Like, I'm concerned, and this is why I'm asking, is because you're withdrawing. And I know you enough to know that when you get quiet, you get in your own head.
Yeah.
And so, do you need me to come over? Do you want to come to my house? Do you want to just go get dinner?
Yeah.
We can just sit in a room together and not talk, but have that closeness and to know that you're not alone. And, we talked about being alone, aloneness. Sometimes there are things that your friends and family can't fulfill.
Yeah.
There just are, but they can sure help keep you in the mindset of, okay, you know what? I can do this for another day and then see what the next day brings.
Yeah.
And if it's not better, then you reach out for help. You get support and services out there. There's community mental health centers where we don't charge for anything. Like, if you have insurance, we charge your insurance. We get paid what your insurance pays. If you have Medicare, Sooner Care, whatever it is, Medicaid, that pays. But you don't ever pay out of pocket. You don't ever pay for anything that you can't afford. And you can get all the services that you need. And there's places like that all over the states and probably the world. I mean, I know in other countries they have way better medical services.
Yeah.
Connection to services in a lot of other countries. But, it's there. It's out there. And there's nothing wrong with asking for help.
No. This reminded me of a story that I read in a biography book years ago. It changed my entire perspective of where, I stand in my career. It was written by a man now that is an inspirational speaker, and he's, I think the book was called Life of a Daymaker. And he calls himself a daymaker because he was like, my goal in life forever changed after this situation. He was a hairstylist for many, many years and very, very busy. He talked about in his biography in this situation that happened that he had been doing a client's hair for probably, I think he mentioned it was like 10 plus years. Mm-hmm. She randomly showed up to the salon one night. She's mid-50s. She came in like every 2 weeks for like a blowout in style. She showed up and the staff was like, he's very, very busy. Can we help you? And she was like, I was just wondering if he could get me in for a blowout and to style my hair. And they were like, I don't think, he's double booked. I don't know if he's going to be able to get you in. He said, I just happened to walk across the lobby and I saw her standing there. So I went up and talked to her and gave her a hug. And she said, is there any possible way that you could do this? And he said, I was very frustrated. He said, I'm not going to lie. Mm-hmm. But I told her, if you'll come back at this time, I'll get you in at the end of the day. She shows back up. He said, I spent an hour with her and he said, it was just amazing. He said, we just talked and laughed and reminisced over the years. And he said, I styled her. She paid. She left. He said about a week or 2 weeks later, I can't remember the timeline because it's been so long since I've read the story. I got a letter in the mail. It was from her. And she said, because of your kindness and your generosity and the love you showed me, I decided to not end my life that night.
Wow.
I was coming in to get styled because I was going to kill myself. I wanted to be pretty for when they found me. Aww. And my most special moments were with you. Because of your presence and you just being kind to me, it changed my perspective that there is hope. That story fully has changed my perspective on the power of our presence.
Absolutely.
And like so many times, I think we lose sight of that. Mm-hmm. We're in the hustle. We're in the bustle. We are quick to just be very passive with people. But just sometimes it's just the power of our presence that's all that people need. Mm-hmm. And I'm not talking in a powerful manner. I'm talking about just the power of our presence. For some people, is just enough.
Just being kind.
Just to love on them. Just to give them a hug and say, hey, it's going to be, you look beautiful. I hope you're doing well. A gentle smile, a gentle act of kindness is all some people need. Mm-hmm. But we forget that because we're too worried about our own fucking selves. Mm-hmm. Remove your fucking self. Unfuck yourself for a second.
Right.
And just show up.
Yeah.
Just show up. Be present for someone. It's not hard. Like, it's not hard to... I mean, we're not asking you to spend 6 hours with someone. We're not asking you to give something. Like, it's just the power of your presence. Mm-hmm. It really did change my mindset and the interactions with people, that there are so many times that those interactions are meant to happen. And it really, I have to really think back to that story a lot because I get real wrapped up in myself sometimes. And right now is probably one of the most busiest seasons of my life that I've been in a very long time, a very, very long time. And this definitely makes this season right now is definitely making me reminisce on that story and me think back to that every interaction that I'm in right now could save someone's life. And a lot of times it's saving mine too. It's just the beauty of life. If we just took it to that simple act, of just being present for others. And I thought that story was so beautiful, and it changed his life too. And he now doesn't even work behind the chair. He turned into an inspirational speaker, and he goes and speaks to hundreds of thousands of people and encourages them how to be a day maker. Yeah. How to turn your life around into making people's days better. And it's a beautiful story. And if you ever find that, it's a very, very short book. I think it's on Amazon, but it's called Life of a Daymaker. It's a good read, but it talks about his success and like how he has been able to get where he is in life. And so,
and I think it just speaks to being kind to people. Mm-hmm. Life is hard, and we all get in our moods, and we all may act a way in public that we shouldn't. I may have a little road rage. It's okay. But I try, when I get behind someone who is just, I try to get in my own head like, okay, maybe they're a new driver. Maybe they're hauling soup. We talked about that. The hauling soup theory. Maybe they got an open crock pot of soup in their floorboard and they can't spill it. So that's why they're going so slow. Like, I try to get in the mindset. And I do the same thing when I see people acting a certain way. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're going at some minimum wage employee because they're not doing what you think they should absolutely do, that they have no power to do, you might get me stepping in and saying, hey, listen, they can get someone for you, but they can't fix this. Why are you yelling at this person? Like, are you having a rough day? Like, what is going on? Why are you acting like this in the Publix? Stop it.
Yeah.
You know, if they just cut in front of me, or you can just tell they're like, you can look at someone and know if they're going through it.
Yeah.
It's really important just to be kind. Like, it really doesn't take anything from your day. Like, what is it really taking from you?
Yeah.
Like, they disrespect you. Did they? They probably didn't even notice you. In reality, they probably they couldn't tell you how many people they passed in an aisle, because we've all been on those days where we've been off our game, where we've been really sad, where we've been really upset, where something's going on. And if you think back to what just happened in that store, you wouldn't know who was in there. You wouldn't know what they look like. It wasn't a personal attack on anyone. You didn't do it intentionally. I mean, there's plenty of times where I've been out and about and been in my own head and upset about something or whatever it is. And I'll catch myself being like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't even see you there. I didn't mean to, no, go ahead. Like, I didn't mean to cut in front of you. I was just so wrapped up in my own thoughts and feelings and emotions that I wasn't paying attention to what was going on around me, or what was happening in front of me, or who was saying what to me. You know, when we get the same way when we're alone, we get the same way. Even if you have a ton of people around you, even if you have a partner that loves you very much, even if you have kids that love you very much, it's not about that. It's about whatever's going on in your head. And if those thoughts get too heavy, you don't want to be a burden on your family. I don't want to be a burden. I don't want to be, I hear that a lot. I don't want to be a burden. You're not a burden. And if you feel like you're a burden to your family, then find someone outside the family.
Yeah.
There's lots of options out there to have someone to talk to have a support group, to have that community that you need, that's going to not necessarily validate your thoughts, but not dismiss them. I've done some evaluations with some people who are older, like much older, 80s, and they're lost their partner, and they have a lot of medical issues, and they don't want to be here anymore. I get it.
Yeah.
I can't allow you to do that on my watch now that I know about it.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to sit. And a lot of times I'll tell them that, like, listen, I understand that, but I don't want you to think that way. I can't allow that. There are things that I have to do now, and sending you inpatient is one of them. So maybe we can get you on some medications, or get you tied to a group or a counseling center or something that can help you with these thoughts, that can help you see the bigger picture of your life. Because when we get in those super emotional times, we're very tunnel visioned.
Yeah.
It's not about the family around you. It's not about your kids. It's not about your friends. It's not about your partner. It's about whatever you've tunneled in on, and you can't even see. There is no light at the end of the tunnel. Like, it's just a little pinhole. Like, you're like, I think am I just seeing floaters? Like, I don't know that that's an actual light. I think the light is out, and I'm done. The train's just going to get me because the light on the train is out. But we have to expand that view and go, look, this sucks. Sure. And also, you have these other things that don't.
Yeah.
You have these things that maybe we can work on. We have these thoughts that you've been carrying with you since you were a child that just aren't true, that just seem really heavy at this time of year or that time of year or whatever it is. But to give up all hope is really sad. We have to have the hope of just another day. Like you're talking about with the story, just one more day. Let's just see what happens in one more day.
Yeah.
And then we go to the next day.
Yeah.
It's kind of like sobriety. It's a lot of things that we do. It's a one day at a time situation sometimes. Yeah. And just making it to that next wake up is the goal.
Yeah. And a lot of times when you do go to sleep and you wake up, you're like, oh, I feel fine. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm going to be okay.
I'm going to be okay.
So sometimes it's just like a sleeping it off matter. There's this note that I have sitting beside my coffee maker because I'm a coffee person in the morning. I'd written this down probably like several months ago, and it's probably one of my favorite things that I've done for myself. So I don't know if it would be anything that anyone else would be wanting to try, but it's really been interesting. So if this does work for you, then just place this note or this question to yourself in a place that you will see every day. and it just says, why am I feeling this way? It is been really cool for me to like get very deep in my head about it, and not in like a deep, like, oh, I'm going down a rabbit hole, but even on like happy days that I'm like, why am I feeling this way? And then I start thinking, and I start listing off all the things that the reason why I'm feeling this way. On my really bad days, it's shifting me because I'm like, why am I feeling down? Why am I? And then I start kind of like digging, and then I'm like, but I shouldn't be feeling this way, So I'm able to somewhat kind of answer. I don't want to say fix myself because that's not. I'm not.
Right.
But me placing that question to myself has really actually helped me stay in a more positive mindset than a negative. Because a lot of people, when that question is usually asked to them, it's only asked when they're going through something bad.
Right.
But why are you feeling that way? But no one ever asks you, why are you feeling that way when you're happy? And why wouldn't you want to know why you're feeling that way?
Right.
Like, what's making you feel so grateful and so happy and so alive? Dig deep in that.
How do I bring this into the next day when I'm not feeling so good?
I think that's that is exactly what I'm trying to say, is it really has made me look at my day-to-day differently when I ask myself that. And so it's a good question to even just put somewhere. And it really, you're like, okay, like, why am I feeling happy? Why am I feeling sad? Why am I feeling that like I need to do this or I need to do that? And you start kind of answering yourself, and it's been really interesting for myself. Like it's helped me a lot. So I don't know if it would help anyone else out there, but it really has. I like it, and it's been kind of life-changing for me.
No, I really think it could be helpful for a lot of people, because not only does it make you go in and be like, okay, why am I feeling this way? What is this present stuff? It does create a situation where you are being very mindful about where I am right now.
Yeah.
Is this old stuff that I'm just thinking about? Did something happen this time of year that I had forgotten about? There's the book, The Body Keeps the Score. It's a very long, hard read, but it's very interesting because our body does store trauma. It does store memories. It does store emotions. And if you are like, why do I feel this way? My gosh, what is happening in my brain hole? Like, I don't understand why I woke up today feeling this way.
Yeah.
A lot of times I'll go back through pictures. Like if I have days like that, I'm like, what the crap?
Yeah.
What happened on this day? And I have time hop, and I have some other photo memory things. And I'll look back and be like, oh,
yeah,
that's why it was this time of year. I don't need to carry that anymore though.
No.
Like I don't know why I'm keeping that. Does it mean something to me now? Is it a warning system? Is it something that I need? No, not really anymore. That's old stuff. And I could see where that would pop in. That makes sense, And so it really is important to say, why am I feeling this way on the good days? It's like the what ifs when we start what ifing things.
Yeah.
Well, what if it goes wrong? What if it doesn't?
Yeah.
What if it's okay? We forget when we get in that tunnel vision to look at both sides. We forget when we are happy.
Yeah. Why
are we happy?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm just having a really good day. Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. Let's stick with it.
Yeah.
Or I'm just really off today. Yeah. Mama needs a break. I try to be very transparent about my moods with everyone, because I don't want to ever be snippy with anyone, period.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just comes out. The tone is just there. And I'm like, oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. And then you apologize for it. You're like, I'm just having a bad day. But I try to preface people. I try to give them a heads up. Listen, I'm in a cranky mood today.
Yeah.
Or I'm just super anxious today. Or I'm really like on the verge of tears. Like I have those days where I'm just like, you start crying about something. You're like, why am I crying about
Literally.
this? What is happening? Like I sat and watched Hallmark movies and I'm just crying about it. It's just, I'm like, what? It's just so beautiful. Love.
Literally.
And I want that. I want this kind of thing. And we get in our own heads about it.
Yeah.
But it's just really a hard time of year for a lot of people. Holidays are just hard.
Yeah.
And the stress of holidays is hard, and paying for holidays is hard. And people sometimes think it's better if I'm not here. That's just not true. It's really, really not. You may feel like a big giant burden on your family, they probably don't feel that way.
They don't.
And if they are saying you're a burden, if they're being mean to you, go find a new family.
I was going to say, choose a different family. It's possible.
It's so possible.
Yes.
Because no matter what you do or who you are, you're not a burden.
No.
Whatever your illness, whatever you struggle with, you are not a burden to the right people.
Yeah.
And you just need to go find your people.
Yes.
Because the ones you have, if they're being mean to you, if they're being hateful, if they are not wanting to help you or support you, and you're actually trying to do things, go find new people.
Yeah.
Don't think you're the issue. It's not, you're not the issue. And if you are the issue, go get help for that. Because you sometimes know you're the issue. Like, oh, maybe I am the issue. Go get help for that. You know, there's so many other options out there than ending your life, than doing the things that, you know, we've talked about that are way better options.
Yeah.
Because it feels really heavy today. Probably won't be as heavy tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Like, and so give it that extra day, give it another day, get on and talk to someone. You know, again, there's 988 National Helpline. The Trevor Project is amazing for the LGBTQ community, trans community. Like it's there. There's hotline on it. You know, you can Google national hotlines for whatever you are experiencing, whoever you are, and there's something out there for you. And a lot of them have text. A lot of them have ways to communicate that way. You know, it's just there are so many options to reach out for support. If you don't want to talk to the people around you about it, you can get help, and you can reach out for that, and you can feel better, and you can communicate that to someone that's going to listen, that's not going to be dismissive, that's going to understand what you're going through. And even if they haven't been through it themselves, you know, a lot of people understand life is hard.
Yeah.
And I don't really know anyone, because I always tell people, if they tell me they never have had a thought of, I don't want to wake up tomorrow, or someone would be better off if I wasn't here, or you're driving down the highway and you've had a really shit day or shit week, a shit month, and you're like, I could just yeet myself off this. Like, I don't know anyone that's never had one of those thoughts. And I always say, if someone says they never have, I call them liars.
Oh, absolutely.
You may not have acknowledged it. It may have been fleeting. It may not have been real to you, which is why you're saying, I've never really had those thoughts. You've had those thoughts.
Yeah.
It's been there. It's normal, because life is hard.
Yeah. And the struggle you're facing today, you could turn around and be able to help someone else in the future. Absolutely. So I always tell people, don't close the chapter on your life yet. Your story's not finished.
That's right.
It's not finished.
It's not finished. But this episode is.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for joining us on Hey Therapist. For my co-host, Riley DeWitt, I'm Leslie Ross. You can contact us on the website at heytherapist.com or on our socials at Hey Therapist Social. Hey Therapist is an SEOK radio production and is for your entertainment purposes only. Thank you for joining us. Make good choices.